So until this day today, what is your highest joy?
My highest joys until this day? Today. Just to be alive is definitely a joy. I am so grateful to be in this beautiful, very difficult journey, but I just adore the planet. I just love humans, and I love the whole universal idea, the idea and the of this universe. I am very much aware there are millions and millions of other ideas and other universes, and right now I'm part of me is experiencing this one, and I enjoy it. I recognize that it's quite messed up and need help, and I am like many of us here, I suspect, for partially for that reason. Of course, there is also the reason, the personal reason, which is self-expansion. But that's the joy, just to live every day, and every day more and more bring high frequencies in a very low frequency environment and see it transforming. It's really the greatest joy, and it's very difficult because we have to deal with so many deceptions and so many weird stuff and health issues, you know, and all kind of programming and attack. But particularly right now, we are so attacked by so many situations, 360 degrees. But still, if we can manage not to take anything too seriously, and we can still kind of welcome the fear, welcome the challenge, welcome the unknown, the mystery, then is really the most fascinating journey, this one on this beautiful planet called Earth. And so I'm very honored and grateful to have the chance to be here at this time, and I will do my best for whatever length I need to be here to continue to my work, my creativity work, my creative work, following my heart and following my imagination. So that's the greatest joy. Then under that umbrella there are little tiny joys, you know, like nature, which is not tiny, actually it's a big joy. Communion with nature and communion with other humans, and creating music, creating a better health, learning to love more and more unconditionally, without conditions. It's so, and every time you conquer a little step in that direction, everything opens up to a new level of potentiality and a higher level of freedom. So it's quite a joy, the whole journey of being here. I'm very aware that there is a lot of suffering here, and I'm very aware that there is we are about to pass through some quite intense, very intense challenges, and so we sign up for that. many of us maybe didn't realize what they signed for. They didn't expect it was this kind of challenge.
You don't seem to be influenced by so much, or your joy is not diminished by what is happening in all the challenges, the suffering that is make this life sometimes quite difficult.
Yes, because I see the whole experience almost like a theatrical act. It's like I am sitting in a theater and I'm watching a play. And in this play there is all kind of drama, all kind of weird stuff, deception, killing, suffering, death, and then there's also beautiful things. It's a whole roller coaster of stuff. But I know that eventually the show will finish and the theater will lighten up, the curtain will open again, and everybody will be holding hands, and everybody we are clapping, and it was, wow, that was a great show, fantastic, congratulations, and the bad, the good, and everybody in between, they will be all wonderful, loving soul. That they've just play a role in order to have an experience, in order to learn lessons. As I watch the theatrical play, I realize that it's getting more and more dramatic, and it's getting more and more suffering. So sometimes I wonder, was it really necessary to, do all this bloody stuff? Even if it's a theatrical play, maybe we can reduce a little bit that pain, and that's why we are here, to bring back the show to a more acceptable version, because this version it got really out of hand. It's still a theatrical show. It will end and everybody will be perfectly fine. But we have to remember that most of the actors involved in the theater, in the show, have forgotten that they are in a show and they are playing a role, and they believe that that's real. And so the amount of suffering needs to be contained. There must be something that do not allow to pass certain lines, and I think we passed those lines way too much. So, and I believe there is some intervention. The fact that we are here and having this conversation proves that, and I know that there are thousands, hundreds probably of thousands, maybe even millions of us that now are working really, really passionately in order to bring back the show to a more, let's go from a horror show to more like a drama show, right? So we don't need the zombies, we don't need the killing, we don't need the blood and the pedophilia and all the satanic ritual. All that stuff is not really needed. We don't need it. So that was interesting for a moment, but let's wash it out and let's continue this beautiful earthy journey with challenges, intense challenges, but without that excess of darkness that I don't believe is necessary. And so that's the work that needs to be done right now.
I think it's quite an art to find your highest joy in life itself. I think a lot of people would ask that question, how does he do that? How can you, because there's so much going on at this time on the planet, that I think a lot of people cannot find their highest joy in life itself. Maybe because you said they identify themselves or cannot see the theater as you see it, but they have seem to be identifying themselves as the role that they are playing, right? So
Yes.
it's really difficult to find that highest joy as you do.
Yeah, it is very difficult. It is difficult for me too.
Yeah.
It's quite an intense journey. We jump into this very contrasting and contractive and deceiving world where everything is not really what it looks like, and every truth is not entirely truth. Some is not true at all, and where the foundations and the standard of life is based on parameters that are lies, they are not real, and that's our playground. And we need to sort the whole thing. After all, we choose, we are so immensely powerful when we are fully awakened, that for us to get a challenge, we need something really, really difficult. Otherwise, it's not challenging. So we, in a way, we have chosen a situation that is very complex, and we said, hey, I want to find a game that is really, really hard and difficult, because the rest is a piece of cake. So let me find a curriculum that is really, really hard. And there we go, Earth.
Yeah.
And so we are sign up for a curriculum where the greatest deceptions are in this curriculum. Layers and layers of deception is not just one. It's just layers, and you dig and there's more deception, you know? And then we have all the unconscious, the subconscious, which are completely messed up, that give us constantly wrong signals and create for us constantly weird stuff. And we have the society that is constantly attacking us left and right. And we have a body that is constantly attacked, and so we are lacking energy. We get sick easily, and so we really sign up for a curriculum that is really, really hard. However, once we graduate, we will our level of mastery will jump so far ahead to add the Earth curriculum to our series of experiences. It takes us to such an incredible level of power and freedom, and then we can. There is nothing we cannot do once we pass through this. There's nothing where we cannot do. So it's, in a way, it's very exciting. But of course, we forget all this, and so then we get lost into the drama, and then it can be very painful. And so we have to help each other. Once, oh, I see that you forgot this. Thank God, momentarily I'm remembering, so I can help you, and then you can help me when I have momentarily forgot something, you know, and we can kind of hold each other hands. And we don't do that by taking care of the other, because that's another deception. We'll do it by holding our light and following our joy and being as much as possible ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
happens when we follow our excitement?
The excitement is an indication of resonance. When we feel we enter a situation in our journey, we are constantly entering new situations. When we enter in a situation where we feel resonance, then usually excitement and wonder and joyful sense of excitement, it comes to us as like a confirm that we are in a state of resonance, and from that resonance is possible to create, to manifest. It's possible to manifest also in a situation of dissonance, of course. But in a situation of dissonance, we are creating more what we do not want, while in a situation of resonance, we create more of what we want. So they are both very valid situations, because when we create something we don't want, then we understand better what we want. So sometimes it's also necessary to experience creating in a state of dissonance, which is a contraction, and in that case we will not feel excitement. So excitement is a good indication that we are we are making good choices, we are in integrity with our heart, we are tuned in with life to the point that we are discerning in a positive way, and we are choosing what is in resonance with our system.